He said because of this total disregard for people, this total disregard for priorities and putting things right, you'll find that the weaker people, the older people, instead of others making sure they're looked after while they're doing their devotions, they may be even trampled underfoot and killed.
شؤون معاملات الناس، الطب، الهندسة. تفضل.
And when really the goal was to direct oneself to God.
شؤون معاملات الناس، الطب، الهندسة، التجارة، شؤون التعاملات فيما بينهم البين، إن قامت بالإخلاص، إن قامت على أساس التزكية، كانت نفعا للمجتمع ويستفيد من يعمل.
Likewise, medicine, architecture, engineering, everything else that's there to benefit society, if it's established on the basis of sincerity, it can benefit the wider society.
لكن مع غياب التزكية ماذا يحصل اليوم في العالم؟
But when you don't have purification, what's happening today in the world? You can see it for yourself.
مافيا الأدوية توجد المرض حتى تروج للدواء.
He said, the pharmaceutical companies create the disease in order to start to market a medicine.
تتآمر على الفقراء والمساكين وترفض أن يباع الدواء الذي يحتاجه الفقراء بالثمن الرخيص حتى تحصل على المال.
It bars the weak and the destitute from receiving the medicine because it wants to command a higher price for that medicine.
تحول ما هو في الأصل قربة إلى الله بنفع من يحيط بنا مع استفادتنا إلى وسيلة للهدم.
So we've turned something that can draw us near to God because we're benefiting people, and also it brings us our sustenance too, to a way to destroy society.
ماذا حصل اليوم في العالم عندما انطلق البشر في التمتع والتلذذ بشؤون الدنيا دون انتباه إلى التزكية والتفرقة بين الحلال والحرام، بين الإسراف والاعتدال.
What's happened now that today when people's only concern is in their pleasures and their sensual delights, where they do not have any regard for whether it's permissible, impermissible, whether it's excessive, whether it's too little.
كم نلوث الأرض التي ائتمننا الله خلفاء فيها.
Look how we pollute the earth that God has left us as khalifs with a trust over.
كم ندمر المناخ، كم ندمر الأرض، كم ندمر الزرع، كم نستهلك.
Look what we've done to the global climate, look what we've done to the plants, look what we've done to the earth itself.
من أين جاء هذا كله؟
Where's this all coming from?
هذا الفشل، هذه الخيبة. الإنسان امتلك أدوات التكنولوجيا والتقنية والمعرفة ويدرك كثير من الأشياء لا يدركها السابقون، فلم تزده إلا سوءا، خيبة.
He said this is loss. Humanity today possesses more scientific knowledge, more ability to do things than people in the past ever did. Yet look at the state of us. This is loss.
الذي لم يتصل بالتزكية إن جاءه الفقر فتنه.
He said the one who hasn't been purified and hasn't worked on himself, if poverty strikes him, it will become a tribulation for him. It will become a severe test.
يجعله حاقد على الأغنياء، ناقم على المجتمع، مستعد لأي تخريب.
Makes him envious of the rich and full of rancor towards society, willing to do anything destructive as soon as an opportunity presents itself.
بل ينتقم من نفسه فيدمن مخدرات ويدمن الخمر ويحاول أن يغمس نفسه في الشهوات حتى يهرب من هذا الواقع الذي هو ناقم عليه عوضا عن أن يعالجه.
He even seeks retribution on himself and exacts vengeance on himself by taking drugs, becoming addicted, taking intoxicants, and basically so immersing himself in his sensual pleasures that it takes him away from his daily problems.
إذا جاءه الغنى فتنه الذي تغيب عنه معاني التزكية.
And likewise, if wealth was to come his way, someone who hasn't purified themselves and worked on himself, it'll be a test.
تجعله يفسد في الأرض.
It'll make him sow corruption on the earth.
ولا يبالي.
Without any concern.
ويصبح
without any regard.
عبدا لشهواته.
It becomes a servant to his own whims.
فيلتقي الفقير الهارب من فقره إلى المخدرات والغني الهارب من فراغه عند المخدرات.
And the meeting point of the destitute and poor person who wants to escape the bitter reality he's living in is to drugs, and the person with excessive wealth who doesn't know what to do with himself and feels empty, they meet at one point, addiction.
فلا الفلاح أدركه بالغنى ولا الفلاح أدركه بالفقر.
So neither of us have found success in poverty nor wealth.
قس على شؤون الحياة.
And use that to measure everything in life.
حتى الجهاد في سبيل الله.
Even jihad in the way of God, fighting in the way of God and struggling in the way of
كم
God.
نسمع اليوم عن الجهاد جهاد جهاد ويؤخذون أبناؤنا ويسافرون مغررا بهم.
How much do we hear talk about jihad, 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 and even our children get taken in a deluded state and jump on planes to go over.
ما مقصود الجهاد المتعلق بالقتال؟ رد الاعتداء؟
What do you mean by jihad? Do you mean by military engagement in order to defend against an aggression?
رفعة الأمة؟
To raise the community, to raise its,
عودة كرامتها؟
to give it back its dignity,
إقامة الخلافة؟
to establish the caliphate?
ما المقصود بالقتال؟
What do you mean by this fighting? What's the purpose?
هل أفلح أولئك في شيء من الأربعة هذه؟
Did any of these people calling people to jihad succeed in any of these four things?
ازداد تحالف الأمم ليأتوا بطائراتهم إلى أرض المسلمين.
Rather, it's made aligned nations ally themselves and come with their armies on the land of the
في
Muslims.
السابق كانوا يأتون والناس ضدهم في أرض المسلمين.
And in the past, they used to come, these foreign forces used to come, and the people in the lands of the Muslims were against them coming.
بل الناس في بلدانهم ضدهم وتذكروا في بداية حرب العراق خرج مليون إنجليزي ضد هذه الحرب.
Even people in their own countries, the countries that are sending troops and forces over, their own people are against it. Remember the beginning of the Iraq war? 1 million people marched in Britain.
لكن بسبب أفعال هؤلاء هل أفلحنا في رد الاعتداء؟
But because of the actions of these people, have we been successful in averting the aggression that's been
من
done?
شدة الخيبة ليس فقط أهل هذه البلدان يقولون خلصونا منهم.
From the intensity of our loss, it's not just the people here who are saying, let's get rid of these people.
الشعوب المسلمة تقول تعالوا من أي مكان في العالم خلصونا منهم.
Rather, the Muslim populace in Muslim countries are saying, come from anywhere in the world and just get rid of these people.
هذه خيبة.
This is loss.
كلام عن الخلافة.
All this talk about the caliphate.
أين هذه الخلافة والدولة؟
Where's this caliphated state?
مجموعة عصابات
A bunch of gangsters
يرفعون راية ويكتبون ولاية سيناء، ولاية الرقة، ولاية، يأتيهم الآخرون يهربون ولا تصبح ولاية.
people who just write the government, the Islamic government of Sina, the Islamic government of Raqqa, and as soon as a force comes to meet them, they run.
أخرجوه من سيناء ذهب إلى بني غازي، قال عندي خلاص ولاية بني غازي، ضربوه في بني غازي ذهب إلى مصراتة، ولاية. هذه خلافة؟
He said they strike him in Sinai, he goes off to Benghazi and says we've established the caliphate here, the government here. They strike him in Benghazi, he runs off to Masrata and says we've established it here, running from place to place.
هذه خلافة؟
Is this a caliphate?
هذا شغل عصابات.
This is the work of gangs.
ما ثمرة
Criminal
الخلافة؟
gangs.
ما ثمرة الخلافة عندما قامت؟
What's the fruit of this caliphate when it was established that you claim?
لماذا لقبت بالراشدة كما سماها النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم؟
Why is the true caliphate called the rightly guided caliphate by the